The magician takes the cellophane and puts it on the box, but not in an ordinary way. He puts it on the box with the opening covered. There's no way for a coin to enter the box. He then takes a signed coin, pulls it off the box, and slams it and melts it straight through the cellophane and through the box. You can even hear the coin in the box. The magician takes off the cellophane carefully, not palming anything, and he allows the coin to fall out of the box. The coin is signed. It is their signed coin. Sorry for dropping it there. It really is their signed coin. That is my effect. Welcome back. Stay tuned for the tutorial. Enjoy. Now, this method is absolutely not the same as Melt by Business as in any way, shape, or form. But I do suggest getting Melt by Biz because it's super cool. This is the first phase of the routine, which is really simple. I will teach you it after the performance, but here's the first phase, and then I have a performance of the second phase, which will be right after this. This is phase 1. Take a signed coin and toss it in the cellophane. And yeah, I kind of came up with this handling a couple weeks ago, and I've been trying it out in the real world, and it gets really good reactions, and it can be done with a signed coin. But I'll teach you the whole routine, start to finish, right after the performance of the second phase. You take a box like this and the cellophane, and you put it on, not the right way it usually goes, but upside down. So the opening for the card box is completely covered. Then you take a coin, the signed coin, put it on and pull it off, and then slam it through the top case, and it goes through the cellophane and box, and then you can show that the coin is their signed coin. Let's get right into the tutorial because I really enjoy this effect. So I hope you enjoyed that performance. This is my handling and variation on Biz. It's not the same method as I said. And I kind of came up with this method about a week ago. It uses kind of an old concept to get into this routine, but it's really a gold concept. So what you need are 2 quarters, preferably quarters, but you can do it with loonies if you're in Canada. You can do it with, I like to use smaller coins, so quarters, US quarters. And what you do is you also need cellophane and a card box. So pretty standard. So the preparation is on one of the quarters, you want to, on the tail side preferably, write your initials. My name's Blake, so those are my initials. So those go on the tail side. And then on another coin, you hand it out and ask them on the head side. This is a completely normal coin. You have them sign their initials on this side, the head side. So they sign it. Let's say their name is, let's say their initials are JJ. JJ. What you do is, while this is still palmed, while the other coin with the initial is still palmed, you'll take their JJ signed coin, and on the tail side, draw your initials. And try to make these initials look as close to the initials of your initials in the palmed coin as possible. So these don't look very similar, but this will fly by in the routine. So yeah, you sign it, and on that side. So this coin which you're holding has their signature on one side and your signature on the other side. And you're doing all this whilst palming the blank on the blank head side and tails side. So you show this, and you have the spectator put out their hand flat. And then what you do is you do a shuttle pass. So you switch the double signed coin for the regular coin. And make sure when you're doing that, when you're finger palming the coin, which looks like this, make sure your signature is the one facing out. So this is facing out. You don't want it to look like this. See, the blank side's facing out. You want the signed side facing out. And then what a shuttle pass is, you're taking the thumb, putting it on the coin, pretending to toss it in this hand, but you're really holding the coin still, and you're allowing it to drop. And they'll see your signature, but they'll assume their signature's on the other side. That's why when you're doing a shuttle pass, you don't want to take the double signed coin and put it in this hand for them to see it's blank, because then they'll say, I thought I just signed it. And then once you do that, you have them hold their hand out, and you put this coin with your signature facing up. They still think it's double signed with your signature and their signature. You have them close their hand around the coin, you snap your fingers and say your signature vanished. And they're right. Now only the magician, your signature, is on it, but the spectator's signature is no longer on it. That's because you've got the signed coin concealed, the double signed coin concealed. Then and credit to Justin Miller's Shattered. Then I say, I'm going to make your signature reappear. And instead of switching it back out, you say, here, sign your initials here again. And make sure they sign the initials the same way as they did on this corner. So that one doesn't say JJ and another says JJ, and then have a smile next to it. So make sure it's just their initials so it looks the same on both. So they sign it, and here's your motivation for having them sign it again. Then you say, ta-da, your signature reappeared. You get a laugh out of that. And it looks like you were just joking around. But in reality, you needed that, because now you have something so powerful. You have two identical coins, which each have your signature and the spectator's signature. So essentially, what you've done is you've gotten your spectator to write their name on the coins twice without them knowing. So this would, if, for example, you wanted to do coin to impossible location from here rather than the routine I'm going to teach, or anything like that, if you wanted to ditch this or put it in, have a stooge, put it in your spectator's pocket, and then go into a vanish and have it appear in their pocket, that's really powerful. Or if you want to take this signed coin and make it appear in the other hand, that's powerful too, because they thought they saw the signed coin in one hand, and they right now they think there's only one signed coin. They don't think there's two. They just think you erased their name and they rewrote it. Now from here, you have them examine that coin, and while you're doing that, you have to leave the cards on the table from your previous trick, and as you're putting the cards back in the case, what you'll do instead of putting them back in the case is, with the signed coin palmed, you're going to put it on here. You don't show it, but you have it on here, and actually, I had a better idea. What you do is you put the cellophane on the box. This is your first phase. And as the cellophane's going on the box, you don't slide the coin in, but you do this. You push your fingers up so there's a lip, and your fingers are going into the box. But the coin is sliding under the cellophane there. See? Don't know if you guys can tell, but it's actually under the cellophane. It's not there. Yeah, so that's hard to pick up on camera, but the coin's sliding under the cellophane. And of course, this is happening from this angle, so the spectator won't know as they're examining the coin. And right now, you're holding the cellophane so it doesn't fall yet. and you're grabbing the coin back, saying, great, you examined it. And as you're grabbing it, you're going to take the coin, and I've done this a lot of times in even professional shows, and it's worked great. You take the coin, and similar to the retention vanish, you're going to bring the coin back in. At the same time, you're going to keep holding the cellophane, but you're going to let the coin drop, right? And it's going to drop into the cellophane. And if you do those things simultaneously, you should have a really cool and visual piece of magic. And this is the first phase. So yeah, you do this, and in full speed, it looks like you're just throwing the coin into the cellophane. And that's insane. That is really cool already. And then you of course, the heat's on the cellophane and the card. You take off the cellophane, hand out that coin, and you still have the other coin, the duplicate, in finger palm. Now, when the spectator's not looking, you want to take the coin and slide it into the card box whilst making it look like you're under the action of just closing the tab. And that's all the spectator thinks you're doing, closing the tab. They don't think you're sliding anything in the card box, but in reality you are. Now we're going into the second phase, which looks like Melt by Biz. Then you take the cellophane and you actually put it on top rather than on the bottom, and you can show both sides of the box, making sure they don't hear the coin rattling inside, because they don't, to their knowledge, they don't think there's anything in the box. And you want to tilt this downwards so that that it doesn't rattle, because if it's like this, any motion will cause rattling, but if it's downwards, it's stuck there. So just slightly downwards, not too downwards, because if it's too angled down, the coin will fall off. But what you want to do is this. You're going to pull off the coin, and this is the exposed view, and you're pulling it off, and it's going to, oops, not like that. You're going to pull off the signed coin, and it's going to fall into your hand, and you're going to pretend to pick it up. But in reality, it's secretly in your hand already. So, exposed view. Coin, you're pulling off, but it really just, coin, exposed view. And, oh yeah, one subtlety is you don't want the box too deep in your hand. You want it more outwards, so there's a lot of empty room for the coin to fall into, so it doesn't fall onto the table. But if it does fall onto this table, you say oops, you put it back on the box and continue. You slide it off, it falls into your hand, pretend to pick up the coin, and then you hit it against the box, and they'll hear the thong, and that's a very audible moment. So the first phase of the routine is very visual, because they see it melt through the cellophane. Phase 2 is very audible, because not only do they see it melt through the cellophane, they hear it melt through the cellophane and box at the same time. Because even though it's not melting through, when you hit it and move it down, you'll hear the box. You'll hear the coin hit the top of the box and bounce. And then, from here, tilt this hand down as the coin enters finger palm. So with the deck, pretend the deck is not here. The deck is on top of here, pretend. You're tilting the deck upwards while the coin is entering finger palm. So with the box, it looks like this. Without the box, it looks like this. It's entering finger palm, like this. And it just looks like you're shaking the case. So after it's in finger palm, you can take the box, shake it, and that the heat, again, is away from your hand, so you get a chance to completely ditch the coin. Pull off the cellophane super fairly, and allow the coin to slide out, and you can show completely the coin. And yeah, that's a brilliant routine, and I think it might be overkill, but after you do that full routine, you're able to go into any other 2 coin any other coin routine, because this makes it so powerful that it's signed and you have two of it. It would be less powerful if you just had two identical coins, because then they'd know you could be switching it. But here you have two identical coins without the spectator even knowing. They think you only have one of their signed coins, which allows you, if you do a coins across routine where the signature also travels, that is killer. And yeah, that's it for my routine. I hope this helped. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe and like the video for more. If you didn't, maybe send this to someone who does. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, contact me at bffanmail@gmail.com. That's it from me for today. Thank you all, and goodbye.